Hi, everybody. Mike Kerr from Hear the Watchman. I want to get a big shout out to Mike Lindell and MyPillow.com. They are supporting Hear the Watchman by donating to us and giving you a discount every time you order from our MyPillow.com/HTW site. Get on out there and do your holiday shopping. Help us out and help a true American company. God bless each and every one of you.
What's going on?
What's going on? What's going on?
What's going on? What's going on?
What's going on?
What's going on? What's going on? What's going on?
What's going on? What's going on? Good morning, everybody. It is November 9th, the day after the elections, I guess you want to call it. And this is What's Going On with Jim Woodcock and Mike Kerr coming at you from the mountains of Idaho. What can I really say? I mean, apathy. I preach apathy all the time. You want to really know why the Dems are so strong? It's because they get out and do something. I firmly believe that while the turnout was decent, that many conservatives sit on their couch and say, oh, we got this. It's going to be a red wave. Well, look what happened. I mean, I can't figure it out. In the 60s, 70s, and early 80s, when they counted votes by hand, the following day, you had the results. But today, with all the technology we have, I don't know. When do you guys think that we'll know what the vote was? Jim, when do you think we'll know what the vote was?
I don't think we'll ever know what the vote was. And let me tell you why. For example, I'm reading and finding articles like, 30,000 ballots in Colorado mailed to illegal aliens so that they can send in their mail-in ballots. So we will never know the legitimate number of votes. But, Mike, I'm just going to springboard and echo. I mean, here in our small little community, and we have about 10,000 people that live in our county. And goodness, when Jeannie was voting yesterday, less than 700 people had turned out to vote. And that's a huge issue, and it's a huge problem. And as long as people, believe in, and part of this could be like, there's a red wave coming. Oh, red wave. I don't need to worry about it. Do not believe anything you hear on the media on any side of the deal. Get out there and do your job. But I'm already getting on the soapbox and getting angry. So go ahead, Mike. I'm going to toss it back to you for a minute.
I brought my duct tape with me. It's not in the studio here, but here's what I'm going to say, guys. I mean, if you look at what happened yesterday, it is strongly a repeat of what happened in the last elections. And Arizona, prime example. I mean, I don't know what's going on out there, how they can't figure it out, how they can reelect a governor who has done what she's done out there and not put Kari Lake in. And if you look at Pennsylvania, okay, I mean, what did you guys do there? You voted for high crime, high inflation, high oil prices. Yeah, I mean, what was going on? Same thing in New York. Oh, let's put Ocasio back in. Oh, great idea, you guys. Let's just run the city like we've run it. Oh, wonderful idea. I mean, it's just absurd what the movement is. And Jim, the movement in America today is one of, as I said, apathy. And we have become a nation that has allowed this gender confused administration to come in. I mean, come on. Where do we go? When would be a better question. Do we go back to the morals and the foundation that this country was founded on. Where's the Constitution? Where is "In God We Trust"? Where did that all go? Right out the door with Joe Biden. That's for sure. Where are you on that one, Jim?
And actually, Mike, I take a little bit different stance on that. Yeah, it went out the door. It went out the door in the 60s when this liberal ideal, well, actually, it's a socialist ideal. Let's take God out of the schools. Let's not allow prayer in schools. Let's not allow the Ten Commandments in schools. I mean, goodness, I mean, they can come and teach mindfulness, which is straight out of Buddhism. And that's okay. Goodness, you can hire a guru to come in and teach yoga in a school, but it all went back to the indoctrination of the 60s. And what really the solution is now is that we need to take the next generation back. We need to say no more to schools. And for goodness, there was a local measure here, not local measure, but a state measure here in Idaho. We've got a surplus of tax money. Should we give it to the schools? No, because they suck. It's a center of indoctrination. It's a center of communism. And Joseph Stalin is the one that is ruling in these people's minds. You know what Joseph Stalin said? He said that it's not counting the votes, but it's it's not who casts the votes, but it's he who counts the votes is the one that controls election. And this election and the last election were straight out of Stalin's playbook.
Yeah, I agree with you. I mean, and we have this society now that thinks it's okay to put drag queens in the school reading to our children. That's not America. I'm sorry. You want to be a drag queen, go be a drag queen, but not in the schools that teach our kids. Let them grow up and make their own choices. Don't force this agenda on them all. This liberal, puke, skinny jean, sad state of affairs that we have in America. And I'm telling you right now, guys, if Russia and China step up their game, who's going to defend our country? Is it going to be the man bun guys? Is it going to be the ones that say, oh, wait, am I a boy or a girl? Who's going to do it? And that's coming, especially as they watch what we're doing right now. And we can't count a vote. Do you get that? We can't do it, and so what happens to the American political system? Are we headed to civil war? I don't know. But I'll tell you this right now. If we don't get our act together, there's going to be dark, dark times ahead. And you know what? After this election, we're looking at a very bleak year until we get another shot. But there's a part of me that says, so what's the point? Nobody's going to do anything. No conservatives are going to stand up and say enough is enough. We need to do that. We need to be active and we need to be out there and we need to make a difference. We have become a society where it's so easy to just sit at home on your couch and disconnect from the real world. And, it's sad. And that's the agenda. That's what they want you to do. They want to defeat us and they want to bring evil back into our country. It's already here, but I mean, they want to enhance that evil. I mean, look at New York, the squad is back. Okay, so what are they going to do? They're going to squat again for a little while. Jim, I really do think we ought to change the name of this show, especially today, to One in the Chamber. But, I mean, it's just crazy. I mean, look, I'm writing off California, Pennsylvania, New York, maybe Georgia. I mean, now we're in a runoff. Was Herschel Walker the best choice? I don't know. I never thought I'd back Herschel Walker for anything, but I do now because we need another Republican in there. And Nancy Pelosi is gloating this morning. Gavin Newsom is gloating this morning. Biden probably is still trying to figure out what day of the week it is. But, it's time for us to really do some soul searching. Don't you agree?
I do, and and I want to go back and just I wanted to interrupt you on a couple of things, just because I'm kind of passionate about these things. But let's go through them. The drag queen situation. Let's face it; these people are grooming children to be sex slaves as children, and so that's their part of their modus operandi. That's a part of their drive of what they're doing. So let's call it what it is. These people are deviants. Sexual predators should not be able to be close to children, and most drag queens and most of these people are sexual predators. Bottom line, mark my words, the truth will come out on this. With what's happening in Arizona, I find it interesting that the liberal that's running for Arizona is all and for the governorship there is also the one who's in charge of counting the votes in Arizona. So I'm sorry, and the Democrats already have a history of problems in that state. They've been caught red-handed over and over again. Maricopa County had conveniently had their voting machine shut down, where all the conservatives go to vote. And so, what did they do? Are they going to leave the polls open later so people can come in because of that error? Oh no, we're going to just shut people. We're going to cut off the line, because they know that would show that Lake would have been a legitimate winner in the state of Arizona. And goodness, we see people like Rachel Maddow today talking about, well, yeah, those Arizonans, it's open carry, so people were intimidated in Arizona. I'm sorry, but I've been to Arizona and I have yet to have one person brandish a weapon at me in Arizona because of the open carry laws that are there. And so so it's all political, it's all a lie and all of that, and we get that. And seeing like AOC, she was even on some sort of podcast or TV program, I don't remember. I saw a clip of a clip, and it was her saying, well, crime is down in New York. Well, yeah, because you know what, you guys aren't taking police reports for crimes anymore, so of course you don't have the paperwork to show that crime is down. The crime is still happening, but you have told the cops that they cannot throw those people in jail. You have told the cops don't even take a report. You have told the cops it's catch and release. I'm sorry, crime is up in New York, and it is a statistical lie for her to say that. And so once again, who's she serving? She is serving the father of lies. But now, me, I'm going to turn things into that biblical lens. The book of Judges talks about how people were doing everything in that they thought was right in their own eyes, and nobody stood up and nobody took a stand. But we do see people like Gideon, and Gideon saying, hey, enough of this. Enough of this. And then he rallied a bunch of people, and God said, well, hey, you know what? You got too many people, because I want to prove that I'm in charge. But you know what? If Gideon can eradicate the evil from the land of Israel, thousands of years ago with only 300 guys, man, we should be able to do that. And our battle starts with prayer, Mike. You said it was casual day, so I've got this "Make America Godly" again shirt that I'm wearing, and that is really going to be the solution to the problem. If we want to see things change in this country, we as believers need to be on our knees. We need to be active. We need to be out there, not only actively praying, but then getting off the couch and doing something. Gideon got off his couch. Gideon got off his couch. I'll say it one more time. Gideon got off his couch and did something. As long as we continue to just sit there and play, Monday morning quarterback from the armchair regarding political and spiritual things, this country is going to decline. And I pray, brothers and sisters, let's raise up at least 300 and let's take our country back for the Lord.
Amen. Amen. I mean, that is the solution. The solution. I'm just astounded at this whole thing. I mean, there is no such thing anymore as election day. It's election week or month. How freaking hard is it to actually count votes? Really? How hard is it? And I realize, like, if you're a Democrat, it's rough, because you can't really count the votes until you know how many you need to win. So you need to know how to manipulate the system, which they do a wonderful job of, and it's up to us to stop that stuff, and I'm just going to the woke generation, this is what I'm going to say. Your day is coming. It's coming, and I highly suggest you put your skinny jeans away and grow some and get out there and be prepared for what's coming on, because just like in the 60s, we had the flower children and we had the Vietnam War protesters, which, I'm not in agreement with what happened in Vietnam, but I support any man or woman that fought there. I'm telling you, look what happened to that generation. They kind of went out and they figured out, wow, I can go get a good job and I can make money and I can have a house and I can have a family and I can start Ben & Jerry's ice cream and I can do all of this stuff. And they did it. And now many of them are as conservative as I am. So your day's coming, guys. I mean, you think that you're so cool. I get it. I thought I was pretty cool when I was your age too. But just be prepared. There's a solution. And unfortunately, it's not political. There's no political solution to a spiritual problem in America. There's none. So we need to get right. We need to get right again. And I'm very disappointed in what took place last night in our country. We are absolutely the laughing stock in the world scene. Just absolutely the laughing stock. So let's get it together and let's truly, as Jim's shirt says, let's make America godly again. Let's get the job done. I don't want to hear from people, well, I'm trying. No, you're lying. You just do it. And, but I might fail. Good, fail. That's how you learn to do it right. I've learned much more from my failures than any of my successes in my lifetime. So, get out there and make something happen. Be civil about it. I'm going to close here for me with something that occurred yesterday. And I want you guys to really think about this. My wife voted, and on the way, she stopped at the gas station to pick up some gas. And she was talking to some lady there, as my wife does, about voting. And the lady said, "Oh, I don't vote anymore. This country's such a mess. I don't vote." What the heck? If you want to change, you got to get in the game. You can't sit back and say, my vote doesn't count. You got to get in the game. And so that's what we need to plan this next year, is how we're going to get in the game and take America back. Jim?
And I agree with that. And, Mike, in all honesty, before the talk of this red wave started, there were those out there who were saying, yeah, it's going to be status quo. There might be a few minor shifts in the Senate and in the House. And so, we still have that. That's, there's no majority on either side in the Senate right now. And things are looking bleak for the party of the left in the House. And, that's fine. That's a good start. But, with so many people that we have in this country that have, stayed on the couch two ways yesterday. They've stayed on the couch spiritually, they stayed on the couch politically. And if we, like the shirt says that I'm wearing, make America godly again. If the pastors would say, you know what, I don't care about the government issued 501c3, which says that the government will allow me to make money, always follow the money, if I keep my mouth politically shut. But you know what? If you are a recognized, if you're a Christian organization, you do not need a 501c3. It's unconstitutional. It's a tax trap. It's a government control trap. And that is part of the problem. I love that we had a local pastor in town said, I'm not going to tell you who to vote for, but I'm going to tell you this. If who you're voting for doesn't follow the Bible, if who you're voting for murders babies, if who you're voting for is part of this political machine that doesn't want to point people to God, but wants you to line your pockets, then that's the wrong person that we should, that we are voting for. And, more pastors need to speak up. And that's the problem. I mean, goodness, 17% of pastors that are in pulpits today, if I remember the statistic correctly, are even teaching the Bible or even believe in the Bible. A huge percent don't even believe in the Bible. That's why they're saying whatever. And so I think it's time for church leadership. And if you're in a church and your leadership doesn't follow the Bible, it's time to either run those people out or go start another church. And when we do that, and then when we vote biblically, because we're in a Bible believing church and we vote the way that the Bible says, we will see radical changes in this country. If we don't, we're destined to go the way to the dodo. And the Bible talks about that's going to happen eventually. But we can do something to ward off the return of Messiah if we start doing things biblically, not only in our churches, but in our homes, in our schools, and in our political life.
Amen. Well, listen, guys, that's going to wrap it up for our morning show today. Pray, get ready for the battle. It's here, it's coming. Teach your children, those of you that have it, or grandchildren like I do, what real work is. And let's really try and make a difference here. So it's lock and load time. Get out there, make a difference. God bless each and every one of you. And please don't forget, visit mypillow.com/HTW. Let's help support Hear the Watchman and also support a true American company run by Mike Lindell, a true patriot. So we'll see you tomorrow on yet another edition of Jim and Mike on What's Going On.
What's going on? See you tomorrow.
What's going on?
What's going on? What's going on?
What's going on? What's going on?
What's going on? What's going on? What's going on? What's going on? What's going on?